As a brain doctor, I'm shocked most seniors ignore this one stroke risk habit. What if I told you that the blueprint for your morning routine, the one you followed for 50 years, has a fatal flaw? What if a single common mistake made in the first 5 minutes after you wake up could quietly be tripling your risk of a stroke? As a brain doctor, I've learned that a stroke is often the final destination of a journey that begins years earlier, paved with these seemingly harmless daily habits. It's not always the obvious dangers that we need to worry about. For many seniors, the story of a stroke begins in the quiet, unguarded moments of the morning. Welcome back to Stroke and Heart Attack. I am here today to have an honest conversation, not to create fear, but to replace it with powerful, life-saving knowledge. I've seen your concerns, your confusion, and your deep desire to do the right thing for your health. Today, we will turn on the lights. We will investigate 7 common morning habits that could be silently increasing your stroke risk. For each one, we will explore the hidden science, and I will provide a simple, gentle, and profoundly effective solution. If you've ever had one of those mornings where something just felt off, please let me know with a simple yes in the comments below. You are not alone, and we are in this together. I want you to watch this until the very last second, because by the end, you will have a new awareness and a clear, actionable plan to make your morning routine a fortress of protection for your brain. This is about reclaiming your power. Now, let's begin our investigation.
Habit number 1, getting out of bed too quickly. Let's begin with the very first physical act of your day. The alarm goes off. What happens next? For most of us, conditioned by decades of needing to be somewhere, it's an automatic, almost violent motion. We swing our legs over and jolt into a standing position. It feels efficient. It feels normal. But for anyone over 60, that single act can be like playing a dangerous game with your brain's blood supply. This is due to a phenomenon called orthostatic hypotension. Let's break that down. After 8 hours of rest, your blood pressure is naturally at its lowest point. When you suddenly stand, gravity, a relentless force, pulls a significant volume of your blood, as much as 500 to 800 milliliters, down into the large veins of your legs and abdomen. In a younger person, a sophisticated system of pressure sensors in the arteries, called baroreceptors, detects this sudden drop. They send an emergency signal to the brain, which then orders the heart to beat faster and the blood vessels to constrict, shooting blood pressure back up to stabilize the brain's supply. This whole reflex happens in a split second. However, as we age, this baroreceptor reflex can become sluggish. It doesn't respond as quickly or as forcefully. Furthermore, many common medications for hypertension, like beta blockers or diuretics, can intentionally blunt this response to keep blood pressure low, making the problem even worse.
The result? For a few critical seconds, or even up to a minute, your brain is not getting enough oxygen-rich blood. That feeling of lightheadedness, seeing stars, or feeling suddenly weak and needing to grab onto something, that is a symptom of transient cerebral hypoperfusion. It is your brain being starved. While it might seem minor, for a brain with aging arteries or existing plaque, this brief moment of starvation can be enough to cause a blood clot to form or dislodge, triggering a TIA, a mini-stroke, or a full, devastating ischemic stroke. You are literally one wrong move away from a potential catastrophe. I remember a patient, a proud retired veteran of 75, who kept a disciplined military-style schedule. He'd spring out of bed every morning at 6 a.m. sharp. One morning, he did just that, felt that overwhelming wave of dizziness, and fell, fracturing his hip and sustaining a concussion. His lifelong discipline in this new physiological context had become his danger. The gentle solution, the 2-minute wake-up rule. This is not about being slow, it's about being smart. Phase 1, 30 seconds. When you first open your eyes, stay lying down. Take 5 deep, slow breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes to gently wake up your circulation. Phase 2, 1 minute.
Push yourself up slowly to a sitting position on the edge of the bed. Let your feet rest flat on the floor. Sit here for a full minute. Look around the room. Let your blood pressure stabilize. Phase 3, 30 seconds. Place your hands on your knees or the mattress and slowly push yourself up to a standing position. Stand still for a moment before you start walking. This gentle 3-phase transition allows your body to adapt, ensuring your brain gets a steady supply of blood and oxygen.
Habit number 2, skipping a morning glass of water. You've stood up safely, your brain is getting the blood it needs, but now you're faced with your first decision of the day. What do you drink? And that decision is the second critical piece of our puzzle. For many, the instinct is to reach for the coffee maker. But making coffee your first drink of the day is a serious physiological mistake. You lose a significant amount of water overnight simply through the moisture in your breath. You wake up in a state of mild dehydration, even if you don't feel thirsty. This dehydration makes your blood more viscous, a medical term for thicker or stickier. Thick blood is harder for your heart to pump and dramatically increases the risk of platelets clumping together to form a blood clot, the direct cause of an ischemic stroke. Think of your blood vessels as highways and your blood cells as cars. Dehydration turns a free-flowing highway into a bumper-to-bumper traffic jam. Now, what does coffee do? It is a diuretic, meaning it signals your kidneys to flush out more water, worsening the dehydration. So your first cup of coffee on an empty stomach is essentially a dehydrating liquid that thickens your blood at the most vulnerable time of day, when your blood pressure is already naturally rising. This dehydration also signals your brain to release a hormone called vasopressin, which constricts your blood vessels, further increasing your blood pressure.
I think of a patient, a 67-year-old woman named Margaret, who was doing everything right for her hypertension, but still felt foggy and had high morning readings. Her ritual was a large mug of black coffee first thing. We made one change, a large glass of water before her coffee. Within 2 weeks, her morning blood pressure readings had dropped by an average of 10 points. She was simply giving her body the hydration it was screaming for. The gentle solution, the bedside water ritual. Make it non-negotiable. Prepare the night before. Before you go to sleep, place a full glass or bottle of room temperature water on your nightstand. Seeing it the moment you wake up is a powerful visual cue. Hydrate before you caffeinate, before your feet even hit the floor, or at the very least, before you take a single sip of coffee, drink that entire glass of water. It thins your blood, improves oxygen delivery to the brain, and helps your medications absorb more effectively. Add a squeeze of lemon, optional. A little lemon can help with digestion and circulation, but plain water is the true hero here. It is the simplest and most powerful tool for stroke prevention in your morning arsenal. I have to pause here. This information can feel overwhelming, but please note that awareness is the first step to control. If you've learned something new so far, please take a second to click the like button and subscribe to Stock and Heart Attack. It tells me that we are on the right path together and helps more people find this crucial information for their senior health.
Habit number 3, the healthy, high-sodium breakfast. You've avoided the sugary cereals and you think you're making a healthy choice. A bowl of cottage cheese, a slice of whole wheat toast, or even some types of healthy breakfast cereal. But these can be sodium bombs in disguise. After a night of mild dehydration, your blood vessels are already slightly constricted. A high-sodium meal first thing in the morning forces your body to retain water, further increasing blood volume and forcing your arteries to constrict even more. This can cause a dangerous spike in blood pressure. A single salty breakfast can completely negate the effect of your blood pressure medication for hours. Let's look at the numbers. A single cup of low-fat cottage cheese can contain over 900 milligrams of sodium. 2 slices of some brands of whole wheat bread can have over 400 milligrams.
A bowl of certain healthy brand cereals can have over 300 milligrams. You could be consuming your entire day's recommended sodium intake before 9 a.m. This disrupts the natural dipping of your blood pressure that is supposed to happen at night, a key protective mechanism. A 2019 study in hypertension confirmed that high sodium intake in the morning blunts this crucial nocturnal dip. The gentle solution: become a sodium detective. Plain is your starting point. Choose plain oatmeal and add your own fruit and nuts. Cook your own eggs instead of using a processed mix. Rethink your bread. Look for low-sodium bread options. A single slice of regular bread can have over 200 milligrams of sodium. Use spices, not salt. Season your eggs with black pepper, turmeric, or paprika. Use cinnamon in your oatmeal. You can achieve incredible flavor without adding a single grain of salt. Your goal should be to keep your entire breakfast under 400 milligrams of sodium.
Habit number 4. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Even if you've had your water, the timing of your coffee matters. Drinking coffee on a completely empty stomach can be a jolt to your system, especially for an older adult. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, the caffeine is absorbed very rapidly, leading to a much sharper spike in adrenaline and cortisol from your adrenal glands. This fight-or-flight response causes your heart rate to increase and your blood vessels to constrict, leading to a sudden and often dramatic spike in blood pressure. For seniors whose arteries may already be less flexible, that sudden spike can strain the brain's delicate blood vessels. Furthermore, coffee is highly acidic. On an empty stomach, it can irritate the stomach lining, causing a low-grade stress response that further contributes to inflammation and cortisol release. This can also exacerbate feelings of morning anxiety, which many seniors experience, creating a vicious cycle of physical and mental stress. I had a patient who complained of heart palpitations and a feeling of panic every morning. The culprit? 2 strong cups of black coffee on an empty stomach. The gentle solution: the buffer rule. You don't have to give up your coffee. You just have to be smarter than your habit. Water first, always. As we discussed, start with a glass of water to rehydrate and prepare your system. Eat a small buffer breakfast. Have something small and gentle in your stomach first. A handful of nuts, a piece of fruit like a banana, a slice of whole grain toast, or a boiled egg. This buffers the effect of the caffeine, allowing for a slower, gentler absorption. Then, enjoy your coffee. After you've had water and a small bite to eat, then sit down and savor your cup of coffee. This simple reordering of your morning routine can make all the difference.
Habit number 5, ignoring the whispers, minor morning symptoms. The final and most dangerous habit is ignoring your body's own intelligent warning signs, those small, fleeting moments that you are tempted to brush off. A sudden, unexplained wave of dizziness, a brief numbness or tingling in your hand or face that lasts only a minute, a moment where you struggled to find the right word and then it came back. These are not senior moments. These could be transient ischemic attacks, or TIAs. A TIA is a mini-stroke. It is the single loudest, most urgent predictor of a major disabling stroke. Think of it as the cracks appearing in a dam before it bursts. Ignoring a TIA is like seeing those cracks and deciding to patch them with tape. The American Stroke Association states that up to 15% of all major strokes are preceded by a TIA, and the risk of a major stroke is highest within the first 48 hours after a TIA. I remember a patient, a 70-year-old woman named Susan, who experienced a brief episode where her vision in one eye became blurry, like a curtain coming down. It cleared in a minute, and she thought her glasses were just dirty. The next day, she had a major stroke that affected her speech. That blurry vision was her brain's fire alarm, and it was ignored. The brain-saving solution is to acknowledge, document, and act. Acknowledge. You must acknowledge that any sudden new neurological symptom is not normal and is a potential medical emergency. Document. Write down the exact time it happened, how long it lasted, and precisely what you felt. Act. Call your doctor's office immediately. Do not wait. Use the specific words, "I am concerned I may have had a TIA." This will trigger the right level of urgency. We've covered 5 critical habits so far. You can start to see how these small, mindful adjustments can build a powerful shield of protection around your brain. I truly hope this is empowering for you. If you have found even one piece of useful information so far, please take a moment to give this video a like and share it with a family member. And if you haven't already, don't forget to press that subscribe button for Stroke and Heart Attack. Remember, subscribing and sharing is a simple, free action that helps protect yourself and the people you care about from a preventable event. Habit number 6, taking your medications later. This may be the most critical habit on the entire list. You have your pills organized, but you think, "I'll take them after I shower," or "I'll take them with breakfast." This seemingly small delay can be a fatal mistake. The vast majority of strokes and heart attacks occur between the hours of 6 a.m. and noon. This is a well-documented phenomenon called the morning surge, when your blood pressure, heart rate, and clotting factors are all at their highest, most dangerous peak. Your medication, especially for blood pressure and blood thinning, is specifically timed by your doctor to create a protective shield during this dangerous period. To understand why, you need to understand a drug's half-life. This is the time it takes for the drug's concentration in your blood to reduce by half. Your doctor prescribes a morning dose to ensure the drug is at its peak effectiveness right when this morning surge is happening. Delaying your dose by even an hour or two can leave your brain completely unprotected during its most vulnerable window. The gentle solution: create a fail-safe system. Consistency is everything. Use a pill organizer. This is the single best tool. Fill it once a week. It provides a clear visual confirmation of what you've taken. Set a daily alarm. Use your phone or a simple alarm clock. Set it for the exact same time every morning. Habit stack. Link taking your medication to another non-negotiable morning habit. For example, after I brush my teeth, I'll take my pills with a full glass of water.
Habit number 7, holding your urine after waking. This may sound strange, but it's based on hard physiology. You wake up with the urge to use the restroom, but you decide to lie in bed a little longer, checking your phone or just enjoying the warmth. This seemingly harmless delay puts significant stress on your body. A full bladder sends alarm signals to your autonomic nervous system, triggering a release of stress hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline. These hormones cause your blood vessels to constrict and your heart rate to increase, leading to a significant and rapid spike in blood pressure. For someone whose vascular system is already compromised, this internal pressure can be the tipping point that strains an artery in the brain. It can also trigger arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, in susceptible individuals, which is another major stroke risk factor. I had a patient who was having unexplained spikes in his morning blood pressure. After a long conversation, we discovered his habit was to lie in bed for 30 minutes every morning, reading the news on his phone, all while needing to use the restroom. By simply changing that one habit, getting up and going to the bathroom first, his morning blood pressure spikes completely resolved. The gentle solution: listen to your body's first call. This is the easiest fix of all. First urge equals first action. When you wake up and feel the urge, make it your day's first priority. Get up, gently, using our 2-minute rule, and go to the bathroom. Phone and coffee can wait. Think of this as your first act of self-care for the day. It calms your system and removes a major physical stressor before your day even begins.
Conclusion: you are the guardian of your brain. So there you have it. We've investigated 7 daily habits that can quietly put your brain at risk. Getting out of bed too quickly, skipping your morning water, a salty breakfast, coffee on an empty stomach, ignoring the whispers, taking your medications late, and holding your urine.
My goal today was not to create a list of forbidden activities. It was to empower you with a new level of awareness. It's about understanding that you are the most important member of your own healthcare team. You are the guardian of your brain. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just pick one. Pick the easiest one for you and start tomorrow. Maybe it's putting a glass of water on your nightstand tonight. Maybe it's taking your pills the moment you wake up. These small, consistent choices are what build a fortress of health around your future. If this video has taught you something valuable, please do two things to help our community. First, give this video a like so more people who need this information can find it. Second, hit that subscribe button and join us here at Stroke and Heart Attack. We are more than just a channel. We are a community dedicated to taking back control of our health. Your subscription is a vote for proactive, empowered living. Let's do this together. You have the knowledge. You have the power. You've got this.